finish your Elements of Art worksheet and you've watched the video, so you can answer the questions that are right here with colored pencil. And if you have any problems answering them, the video that I showed you about color is on Clever. It's in the color and linear perspective presentation. So you're going to finish that, and you're going to also have your final linear perspective finished. When you show me those two things, you can start on your color wheel, okay? So your color wheel is going to look something like this. This is someone else's, and I think that you all can see where this is done neatly and not so much. So I want you to have a lot of craftsmanship when you do this, all right? This one has a little more craftsmanship. Can you agree on that? Craftsmanship is important in painting because if you go over the line that you want to, you'll be mixing paint together that you don't want to mix together. Does that make sense? You don't want to put a color where you don't want it, okay? So I'm going to show you the quickest way to set up your color wheel. I'm just going to show you how I got here. So I have these color wheels over on the shorter table, and it makes sense if you just go ahead and trace the color wheel. I'll line up my colors. Trace this color wheel and then use carpenter's marks to mark off where every section goes. Okay? And then you can take a ruler and you can connect all of your carpenter's marks. So you can section it off because then once you do that, you'll have 12 sections. Now, you don't have to do it that way. I'm a big fan of doing whatever works. So you're gonna have 12 sections here, and then you're gonna label everything, and you can use this color wheel to make sure you don't mess up. Because it's not gonna just roll off your tongue like it does mine. Because I know it's red, red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, blah, blah, blah. So you're just gonna mark all these. And then down here, you're gonna do a series of 9 boxes and a series of 10 boxes. Now you all have done this before. So the best way to do it is to trace your ruler at 9 inches, make a box, and then mark off every inch. And then remember you have this handy dandy little stopper right here which creates a T-square. And then you can connect and make those sections. On the bottom one, you're going to trace your ruler, mark off every inch, but on the bottom one, you're going to do 10. Okay? And here's the reason why. I went ahead and labeled these 1 through 9. The reason there's 9 is because number 5 is the hue. What does the word hue mean? What did you say? What does the word hue mean?
Like?
Keep going.
Like the shade of it?
No, that was a really good guess because it sounds like that's what it is. Hue is basically what? Just the... No. When you make a color lighter, what's that called, doing to the color? Do you remember? When you add white to a color, what's that called? Tint. You're tinting the color when you add white. When you shade it, that's adding black. So I want the intense hue in the middle. So the hue is what? Yeah. Hue is just the color. Hue is the color, the intense color, the saturated color. When we add white to it, we're tinting it. So we're tinting the hue. When we shade it, we're adding black to it and we're shading the hue, okay? Now this one is going to take a little more work. This is your complementary color combination. So I chose, this isn't mine, but blue and orange. And when you start adding a little bit of blue to the orange, it turns a neutralized gray. When you start adding a little bit of orange to the blue, it turns a neutralized gray, okay? So today, I'm not going to show you the complementary or the tinting or shading because we only have 2 days. And so realistically, you won't get to it. You might get a color wheel done, but you won't get to that. So when we come back from Thanksgiving break, I'm going to show you how to mix complementary colors together. But today I'm going to show you how to set up your palette. And then you can always watch this video that JT is taking. So the palettes are over there, and if you happen to get a palette that has dried up paint in it, I have tools over there. This is acrylic paint, and the paint will just pop right out, and you can take it out and throw it away. And then you have a clean palette ready to use. And make sure you throw these away. If they get on the floor, these will grind into the floor, so don't do that. So come on, you don't need to come with me, but over here, I have, oh, you can, JT. JT's my paparazzi today. Yeah. So you want to get very small amounts of paint. You don't need a lot. In addition to paint, you want to get brushes and water. So get brushes and water. And you're going to get paper towel. Marwa, can you grab me paper towel? Okay, I don't want to lose you yet. Come on, I need to show you some more stuff. So the amount of paint I got is plenty. I probably got a little bit too much. And I only got red, yellow, and blue because that's all you need. That's how you are making, thank you. That's how you are making all the colors. You make them yourself, all right? So what I want you to do is start by putting all of your primary colors onto your color wheel. So red is over here. Now I'm not gonna paint all these in. I want this painted in neatly. And to paint it in and get full coverage, you may need to do 2 coats. After you get done with the red, well, I don't care what order you go into, put your yellow down, and yellow is the weakest color, so that usually takes 2 to 3 coats. So be aware of that. Yellow is the weakest color. So whenever you're making a color that uses yellow, you want to make sure that you use more yellow than the other color. Okay? So now, once I get all the primaries in, then I'll start making my secondary colors. So here I would go to green. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to have a partner. I want you to have a color mixing partner. And I want you guys to help each other out and make sure that you're getting the right green or the right whatever. Now, I want you to have a lot of craftsmanship in here. But sometimes you need to test the colors out because you make that and you think it's green. But if you test it out, you're going to discover that that's not really green, is it? It's blue-green, isn't it? It's blue-green. So remember, yellow is weak, so you usually need more yellow than anything else. Oh, and do this also. It appears that there was some paint in my brush, and it appears it was red, so it's toning down that green. If you add red to green, it tones it down. I'm not getting a true green. So make sure that you clean your brushes before you use them in case somebody left some paint in there, okay? All right, so you're gonna go to the secondary, and we're gonna pretend like this is an okay green. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. It's not bad. It's not a bad green. And then once I get the green all painted in, I'm gonna put yellow somewhere else. And all I did was grab some yellow and mix it with my green. And that's probably yellow-green. Okay? So you're gonna do all your primaries. Then you're gonna do a secondary and make the tertiary. So secondary is green. Tertiary would be yellow, green, and blue, green. Okay? And then so on, and you're just going to keep going. And that's a little bit too close. That needs more blue. This is why I want you to have a partner. and make sure you're getting the correct colors. And then go as neatly as you can in these pieces of pie. And make sure you're painting the whole piece, okay? When you are finished painting, you are going to keep your palette. This is going to be your palette. So what I want you to do is grab a plastic bag, and I want you to put your palette in a plastic bag, and I want you to close it tightly, and then your plastic bag is going to go in your locker, okay? So the other thing is you're probably going to have a wet canvas here. So in the back of that door, I have drying racks. There's a drying rack right over there by the mirror. So if you're on this side of the room, maybe you want to use that drying rack. But you're going to put it on the drying rack. There's one on the floor, and there's also one right back here that you can put it on. Now, these are all going to look the same, right? Please, my suggestion is put your name on it on the end. Put your name on the bottom. Put your name on it first. That way you know. Does anybody have a pencil? He has one. Thank you, Jonathan. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name on it right now so nobody nabs it, so I can use it. Okay. So name, put your palette in your locker, and next week I'm going to show you some more things of how to get this done. Okay? Do you guys have questions for me? Are you good? Okay. Go ahead and start working. Wherever you're at is where you're at. Thanks.